Hello. So in the previous session, we have discussed about the static factor method and instance factor method by making use of Spring Bean configuration file, XML configuration file. Now we are going to discuss the same thing using Spring annotations. Okay, by making use of Spring annotations. For the Spring annotations, we are going to make use of two annotations. So this is our topic. We're going to make use of static factory method and instance factory method by making use of Spring annotations. So here, the annotations we are going to make use of is we're going to make use is at configuration. Other one is at bean. So choose this the equivalent. This equivalent to the bean stacks of the Spring XML bin configuration file. So at the rate bean annotation is the equivalent to bean tag. Okay, so which has definitions of all the beans. So bean is nothing but it's going to have a few attributes related to particular um, Pojo class. So in our previous example, we have this is our you can see. So this is the bean. It's going to have the bean definitions. This is the bean for the class. So this equivalent annotation is at the red bean. Here at the red beans tag equivalent annotation is configuration. Okay. So we are going to make use of these two annotations. So let's jump on. I'm going to make use of Spring Core. In the source main Java, I have the package com.asif. You can see here. Let me close all this. Now, I have the phone class. This phone class, I can't create any kind of annotations here. This is provided by the external source. So external piece of the code we got, and we have to create the object for this class. This is the phone class. We have to create the object for this phone class. So for it, I have created the phone factory method. In the phone factory method, um, in phone factory method, you can see this instance static instance factory method. So I don't have static here. So let me add static here. So this static method is going to create the object for the phone. So you can also write this as you can say even this. So you can also write on this. So any method can be called as a factory method if it returns the object. So here it's returning the object of the phone. So I created the object for the phone and I have written that reference value, reference variable. Okay. So we can also instead of writing all this huge code, you can written directly in your okay in your form. So this is my factory method, static factory method. Okay. So now we are making use of annotations. We are not going to make use of Spring configuration file. Okay, to completely eliminate Spring configuration file, we have used this class which contains component scan and the scope base package scope for this component scan is form.asif. Okay, so it's going to check. So all the Java classes present in the form.package, uh, it's going to cover all these packages. So this is the base package. So, so all the classes present in the form.asif can use the annotations now. Okay, so this is my phone, which is an extra piece of code, and I have written phone factory for this. Now let me use annotations. So I can't this extra piece of code, so I can't use configuration at the top of the class. So as I can't make any kind of changes to it. So I'm going to, as this is my factory method is factory class is my the class written by me. So I'm going to make use of the annotation known as configuration. Okay. So here I'm going to write consider this as being controllers. So this has a factory configuration, and this has being. Okay. Now let me save. Let me go to app.java. So as we are making use of annotations, I'm going to say new of annotation config application context and save it in container. So let me go close the container. So with the container, I'm going to call the get bean, and this is my phone. So here, if you look at this thing, so even here, this is my phone. So you can go to app.java and phone.class. So it's returning okay, let me remove the double quotes for class. Again, say control1, control1, phone, and I'm going to call the method present in phone, and I'm also going to display phone. It's going to enter the address of the phone. Okay, so I have created the bean for the phone, not for the phone class. So let me run it. Annotation configuration file context has not been refreshed yet. It's saying to refresh. Okay, we have not mentioned the MOC utility, which has a component scan. So here, let me enter and let me say MOC dot class. So let me run it again. Again, no bean name, phone available. See, no bean with the name phone available. Okay, no such bean because not we are not given any kind of name, right? If at all we want to use this, okay, say no phone with the name available. Okay, let me save. So I'm calling the app.class with a with just a phone class. Okay, so let me run it. You can see it has created called the display method from the phone class, and you can see it's displaying the phone address. Okay, so this for the static. The same way we can also make use of for the instance. Oh, it works for the both. Okay, so this is the this is about the static factory method and instance factory method by making use of the configuration and the bean annotations. Okay, so this is with the Spring annotations. This is about the factory methods. Now let's jump on to the other topic. So now let's revise the topics. Revise the topics, whatever we have learned, things we have now we are going to make use of value annotation, auto wired annotations. Let's check this thing by using the annotations. Okay, so let me create the two classes. Um, say new person. So this is my person class, and let me create the other class with the name address. Okay, address class. Whenever we create the address class, it's always good practice to add annotation controls with configuration. So even for the person class, let me add the configuration. Okay, in the person class, let's say that I have three instance variables: private integer PID, and another one is private string name. Other one is private address. So address real type is address class. So let me create the constructor, zero parameters constructor. So let me add say person object is created, and let me add get status. Say control all, select all and generate. Next time go to add to string is to print all these values. In the same way, let me put address. Let me create one instance variable, private, let's say state, uh, string state, and let me create a constructor for the address. And let's say okay. So let me add getters and setters, and let me add toString. So now I have the person class which is using the address. So I need to auto-wire it. So I need to auto-wire it because it's dependent on the address. So let me add the value to the PID in the use of value. So if the value is equal to, I'm going to make use of 10. Let me add value for the name. I'm going to say as this. Save it as it's a dependency. Dependent. Let me go to address. And the value, add value here. I'm going to say AP, Andhra Pradesh, control A convention pro. That's going to for all the packages. Now I have assigned the values to the state, and now I have assigned value to the ID and string name. So and this address, the address is a class. So I have auto-wired it, created the dependency injection by using auto-wired annotation. So let me go to create an app class. This is a main method. So I'm going to use new annotations on and put it in container. Let me close container and container dot get bin of whatever. Okay. Now container dot get new. So now the bin is person, right? And this is my class name. So let me call. Let me store it in control one using the person. Okay, I'm going to call the toString method. Save. So let me run it. We got some error. What is it? It's saying that annotation configurable has not refreshed it. It's saying not refreshed. So to refresh, you need to add container dot register. So register the class which has that thing, or else you can directly make use of the. So as we have already created the class MOC util, which has a component scan with the base package com.asif. It's going to search for all the Java classes present in the class. So there we can write the annotations. So in the app.java, I'm going to mention that save it. Now let me run it as a Java application. You can see the address object is created, person object is created. Okay, as you have called person, it has written all the values. So let me create the object for the address. So you can see it has written the objects for both the person and address. Right? Let me know this. Okay. So let me run it. You can see it has created the object for the address and object for the person. It's going to go in the alphabetical order. First, it's going to create the object for the address, then it's going to create the object for the person class. As we have called getBean and created the toString method for the person, so it has returned the values. And as we have here, we have called the address getBean for the address. Uh, toString we have called toString of the address, so it's returning the value of the okay. And we got this value with an auto wire here. Okay, so that's the thing. So these are the basics. We have discussed the basics, annotations here, like component scan, configuration, uh, like value, auto wire. Okay, this is a revision. Discuss all these annotations. Okay, now let's jump on to the other topic. Okay, deleting all this thing. Now let me create the class uh, with the name employee. Employee. This is my class. Let's say that this is an interface. Okay, this is not the class. This is the interface. So in the interface, we'll be having a few methods. Okay, I will say student instead of employee. Say student. So have the education method. So any class which implements the student interface, it should automatically override the methods present in it. So we have only one method here, so it needs to override that method. create an implementation class of the student class. Okay, right click on it, say new class. I will say student PL implementation. Finish. Let me close it, delete it. Let me right click again and say new class. I'll say student IMPL. Okay, I will say finish. So here I will say implements student. So let's say that this class has implemented student. So when it implements student, it has to override all the methods present in the student interface. So that's the reason why it's asking us to implement unimplement. So it has created by default. Let me delete it. So this is a method which has override method. We have only one method. So that is overridden. So here I'm going to display some message. Say education is BTech, Bachelor of Technology. So this is my implementation class. So the thing is, so the most of the projects we use have interface and implement or implementation classes. So this is the most common. We usually work with the interface and its implementation classes. And other important thing is we can use both. And the other important thing is interfaces can't have edge configuration at the top. Okay, all the interfaces can't have configuration. Only classes will have the configuration tags. So here in this case, if you look at, we can't add the configuration here. Can't configuration. This is not the right way. It's saying that okay, this is not the right way. We can't add configuration. So let me save it, but we can add in the implementation class. So let me add configuration. Okay. So this is the configuration tag. Now let me go to app.java, and I have annotation container, and I have the base package MOC utility, which has the component scan and its base package. So I mentioned that thing in my app.java. Now, how to configure? So here, what we do is, let me say container dot get bean. I will say I can say person dot class, and I can say student dot class and save it inside the student, and say student. What we have the student we have education. Okay, so I will say uh, student dot education. So here I'm creating the calling the bean method by using student. But what is student? Student is an interface. That's what it's showing. It's saying that student is an interface. So can we call the get bean method by using interface? Let's check it. Let me run it as Java application. You can see even though we have calling the get bean method with the interface internally, it's it's using student implementation. It's calling the method of the student implementation. Okay. So with this, we got to know that we can also use. Um, so so the container is so powerful that it's able to identify the implementation classes of all the student. So when you just write student.class, it's going to identify all the implementation classes. It has identified that student implementation is implementing it. So it has called the education. So education method. So that's how we got this output. And let's try with the implementation class. So we can say student IMPL. Let's try with this. Run it as Java application. Yeah, even this one is working fine. This one is working fine. Okay, this one is also working fine. Okay, so with this we got to know that we can use container or get bean of. We can use directly so here we can directly call by using the student interface, or we can use student implementation class. So this is actually the right way, but if at all we make use of the interface, so the container is so intelligent that it's going to identify all the implementation classes and it's going to create the student class. So let's run it again. So now we should get two times. Basic education is basic and education is basic. So we can use any of this method. We can use call the getBean method by making use of interface, or we can call the getBean method by making use of student implementation class. Okay, anything is fine. Okay. Now, what? Let's look at the other scenario. We have the student interface, which is being implemented by only one class, that is student implementation. Okay, student implementation. Let me create one more class. I will say new. Let's say that student implementation. Student implementation. Let's say, let me name it as student implementation one. Okay, so let me create other implementation, student implementation. Okay, let me create other one. Let me copy the same one. So let me say that's two. So this is student implementation one, this student implementation. So even this student implementation 2 is also implementing the student interface. Master of Commerce. The student 1 is uh, BTech and student 2 is MCA. Okay, so I have the two classes which is implementing the same class, same interface student. This is also implementing student and this is also implementing student. Now we have the two methods. Okay, so let me go to app.java. So can I use this way? Can I use this? Can I call the getPin method uh, by making use of the student interface? Let me try it. Oh, it has it has thrown some error. No qualifying of the bean student com dot of student available. Expected single matching by bean but found two. One is student implementation one, other one is student implementation two. It is expecting one, but it is found two. Two matching beans. Okay, there comes the ambiguity. Okay, so in this case we definitely need to go um, with the implementation class name. We can't use the getBin method by making use of the student interface. You must and should go with the class name. So in the same way, you can use two. This will be called with its corresponding implementation class, not by the interface. Here we can't use the interface. So let me run it and check it. So it's calling the student one is calling the education is waiting for the student two. It is education is MC. Okay, this way we can configure the we can use the implementation classes. Okay. So that's all for now.